Believe it or not, this is the most powerful vehicle Nissan builds right now, the Armada. And yeah, it needs all of that power to haul itself around. It's a massive 3-row SUV that weighs over 6,000 pounds, but it also needs all of that power to back up this badge right here, the NISMO badge. The R35 GTR NISMO spent its time while it was still in production slapping around Nürburgring lap times, battling for the top position. The NISMO Z just got a manual transmission. So here I am thinking, what productivity could the Armada NISMO possibly bring to the Nissan lineup? And I know you guys are curious too. The first question all of you have been asking when you type in your search on Google has been, does the Nissan Armada NISMO, what's the autocomplete there, have a GTR engine? The answer is no, it does not have the VR38 from the GTR. First things first, that ride height you guys saw in the intro is not the ride height of the Armada NISMO. If Nissan was smart, they would have allowed the driver of this car to set that ride height while driving, if not only just for rolling shots, for photos, for the gram. You can't set that ride height while you're driving. That is only while you're parked. We'll get to that a little bit later. It does have adaptive air suspension. It will automatically go up and down. It also is underneath a standard Armada. It's still got the same twin turbo 3.5 liter V6 under the hood. But instead of 425 horsepower, it's 460. It's been bumped 35 horsepower over the standard Armada, but with the same 516 pound-feet of torque. Could you get this power just from a tune in any other standard Armada? Yes. So all of those NISMO badges, the insane body kit, which we'll get into, the big wheels and everything, it is a full package, but the piece under the hood that would have been the headline, that would have been the viral TikTok posts, the Instagram posts, that would have got millions and millions of views, was missed here. That opportunity was missed. In a massive vehicle like the Nissan Armada, visibility is paramount. So that's exactly why I've been using the Wolfbox G900 Tri-Pro. It's a 3-camera dashcam setup using an integrated rear view mirror. That one is a 4K front-facing camera using Sony Starbus 2 image sensors. In the rear is a 2.5K rear-facing camera, but here's the kicker, you guys. Out front, there is a 1080p bumper camera to catch that last blind spot. Both that camera and the rear-facing camera are IP67 certified, dust and water resistant. So here's where my head's at. Let's go off-roading. Instead of craning your neck out the window to see if you're gonna hit that rock or worse, an animal, it just shows up here with the other cameras on the rear view mirror. You can switch between these camera feeds on the fly. It's been super easy without taking my eyes off the road. And then if you want to share those clips, either on social media or, I don't know, to your insurance company after a hit and run, you can do that with the Wolfbox app wirelessly using 5.8 gigahertz Wi-Fi connecting to the rear view mirror. That's 4 times as quick as your traditional download speed. Over the past few weeks I've been using this setup, all the clips have come out really crisp and clear, and that's because they're all using HDR technology, just balancing out the dark spots and bright spots in the image. It's been a great system for me, and I'm sure you guys will love it too. So if you want to get your own Wolfbox G900 Tri-Pro, the links are in the description, both on their own website and Amazon as well. Again, those links are in the description. Now back to the Armada. They should have done this when the R35 was still in production, if not at the beginning of its production when it was still fresh. Then the brilliant marketing photos they originally took when this came out would have worked a little bit better. It's this towing a Nissan Z. That's what this is. This is the Lamborghini Urus of the Nissan world. When anybody else in your family leaves the driveway, not in the sports car or the supercar, they can still represent the brand, the Nismo brand. But on that trailer should have been a GTR Nismo. It would have worked that much better. And at the same time, if this had the same engine as the GTR, oof, that would have just been the cherry on top. But we're living in reality. So what else does this package entail? Well, first off, it's got a Nismo exhaust. That's first. You got to have some noise. Although, when the Armada first came out with this VR35 V6, they explicitly say they tried to get the least amount of noise from these turbos as possible. And then they go ahead and make this Nismo model. It's got a louder exhaust, but they don't take away any of that sound muffling. That's a huge missed opportunity, especially with a torque prominent engine like this, where the turbos spool up so quickly. You're on and off throttle, even in the city. If this had some turbo sounds, that would completely sell this car on a test drive. We'll put it in sport mode with the race flag, the checkered flag on the drive mode selector. We'll try a little bit of a launch. There is no launch control here, but we're just gonna brake boost. Where does it shift? 5,900 RPM. Air and fake V6 sound, that's what we get. It's quick. The 9-speed is responsive. That's been tuned here as well to be a little bit better in the corners. The steering rack, obviously electric power steering, has also been tuned, so it's still really light, but they've tuned it. Oh, that is a lot of weight being thrown around right now. They've tuned it to feel a little bit more responsive and heavy when compared to the standard steering rack. And I would say they've actually done it. And while it is impossible to make a massive body-on-frame 3-row SUV handle like a crossover, they've tried their best, and it feels different than the standard Armada, even having not driven them back-to-back. The steering is still super light. All of the controls, the brake, the gas pedal, they don't really need a lot of input. It's a little bit sharper. Still, a ton of body roll. There's not much feel in the steering. It's a 6,000-pound SUV. So if you came here thinking that Nismo is that little magic dust that could solve everything, that's not the case. When there's Nismo badges everywhere, you expect some kind of massive transformation, and it's just not here. There we go. There's a shift. There's a shift. It's so much better in automatic mode. If you just leave it, it downshifts smoothly. It doesn't upset the car. It's a good thing. It also has tuned suspension, so that adaptive air suspension has been tuned. It's a little bit stiffer than the standard Armada, but not offensively so. This could be just your normal daily. In the Nissan Z, it is very easy to forget you're driving a Nissan Z around town. It feels like an Ultima at low speeds. Here in the Armada, at low speeds, it feels like an Armada. In the Z, that was a bad thing. Here, it'll help move these off dealer lots into the hands of eccentric individuals who have never heard of Nismo before. Nissan is in trouble, and a GTR-powered, spine-rattling wagon on stilts is not what the American family needs right now. Plus, a high-revving GTR engine would have split the 8,500-pound towing capacity in half. And wasn't that the whole point? It's all about torque. The torque is huge, but this is 600 pounds heavier than a GMC Yukon Denali. Unfortunately, you cannot adjust the air suspension to lower independently outside of its automatic setting, but Nissan knows what you want. So when you park the vehicle, it automatically lowers to this entry-exit level. Nissan knows you just want to look cool, and that's exactly what this thing is all about. I mean, the body kit is ridiculous. It's got extra side skirts, it's got red everywhere, it's got a massive grille that extends all the way down to the ground, and the whole kit, as ridiculous as it is, succeeds in its goal, which is to make this look slammed. It's complete with air suspension. It is show car culture from the mid-2000s, Tokyo Auto Salon, all over again, and I love that. It's not actually any lower than the standard Armada models. I mean, Nissan has me fooled. And after you get past the comical mid-2000s tuning culture type bumper, you realize the Armada is just still an Armada. It's a 3-row SUV. There's a ton of room, headroom as well in the back seat, the 3rd row. If you're over 5'9", it's a bit of a squeeze, and there's not quite as much room here as you would get in something like an Expedition or a Tahoe or a Yukon, but at the very least, you've got all your controls here, and Nissan makes it easy. This is not Infinity, it's not their luxury vehicle, but hey, if I can have my hands free and these seats are going down, albeit slowly, that's okay with me. And then the second row, you also get buttons here. Those go down quick, but if you get it in a Yukon, you'll have figured out that those also do a secondary flip in that SUV to extend just a little bit more space here. And that little cup holder centerpiece, center console bit there, you can't move that. So there is one more move that you can do, but you have to come around to the side door here and move them forward a little bit. Opens up a little space here. It's nothing crazy, but they're doing the best with what they've got. If you had just a bench second row, then you would have a fully flat section here, but I guess the Nismo takes a couple of cues from the top tier Platinum, which is the luxury spec, and that includes these captain's chairs. These are the only chairs you can get for the second row. There's something about the Armada on the interior that I can't quite put into words. They've actually done a really good job in using space here. There's a gaping hole underneath this giant center console, but everything feels a little bit chunky. It's like Popeye's biceps, you know, everything's a little bit inflated. There's room, but when you look around, the steering wheel's huge, it's chunky. The center console is like puffing out and inflated. It's got still quite a bit of space down there, and you can reveal a wireless charger, 2 cup holders, double screen here. Really good screen. I think they could have done more. Like, there is a Nismo TAC, but give me some other options that weren't available in the standard Armada. It just really doesn't go to that next level. There's so many missed opportunities here. Everything's really easy to use. We've got Google Maps on the center screen. I love that. So many manufacturers mess this up, but I'm happy to say in Android Auto or Apple CarPlay, if you're using Google Maps and then you plug in a destination, it will show up in the center here. Some SUVs do not do that. There are still physical controls here, which is great. I'm not a big fan of the piano black, that needs to go, but we have so many physical controls. Thank you, Nissan. That is so welcome. Whatever these buttons are to be called down here, it's not really a shifter anymore. That's not the greatest. I would prefer a column stock. You can also control the center screen here, of course, that goes without saying, but then also the other screen on this side. So it's also a touch screen, and the climate control can also be pulled up on here. The best part, one of the best parts, we'll get to the best in a second. The second best part of the interior, the backup camera, amazing. They have not skimped out on this. The best part though, is everything Nismo's done here. There's a Nismo badge here. We've got red stitching, Alcantara everywhere, quilted Alcantara, red seats. Even the back seats are all quilted Alcantara in red. So that's kind of, it's for TikTok. That's for your passengers to take selfies and then do the marketing for Nismo. They're taking selfies, and then in the back, there's Nismo. People are like, Nismo? I thought it was Nissan. Needless to say, the seats are awesome. They've actually added some side bolsters here that are more aggressive than the standard Armada, and they're adjustable. The massage seats though, not great. It's a joke of a massage seat. It just kind of pushes the lumbar out and back in. Really not the greatest. You might use it once and then never put it on again. But as far as a comfortable sport bucket seat that actually holds me in, incredible. Nissan, good job. Still has all the Armada fun stuff for off-roading, which is also a little bit comical. It's got 4 high, 4 low, and those 22-inch forged raised wheels. I don't think they were built to see mud. That would be a good photo though. And actually, that's the video you guys probably wanted to see. Will the Armada NISMO still go off-road? I think the telltale sign though here that NISMO was not as serious with this Armada as they could have been is the fact it still has the factory Armada brakes, which are fine, but the first thing you're gonna notice after you're driving and you come to a stop is the smell of the brakes. And putting it in sport mode, wow, those tires are loud, does not do a whole lot to transform the car. The steering is still very light, which I like daily driving an Armada, but it's not really a vehicle you have to wrestle with. If you're on a budget and you have to have a Nissan Armada, and you go to a dealer and this is $8,000, $10,000 less than a Platinum, but it still has some of the luxury features, you'd probably go for this. You know, someone with a sense of humor could walk into that dealer and walk out with a Nismo accidentally. But there's a curve there, because in 20 years, this is going to be cool. Does it do things a 3-row body-on-frame SUV should not be able to do? Not really. A Toyota Sequoia has more torque than this. Obviously an X5M and GLE 63 AMG, those have more torque than this, but a Volvo XC90 also has more torque than this. That's a vehicle that blends in with any crowd. So at least they've got a sense of humor. At least they did something. I mean, is this not better than an Ultima Nismo? I think it is. So please let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Armada Nismo, it's hilarious. I've had so much fun driving this. More than anything, it's just the reactions that people give you in parking lots and on Instagram or on my Instagram. They've been great. So thanks, guys. Yeah, we'll see you soon.